Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Broadway Battle. My name is Timothy and I am your host for today. Today we are going to be going over the random slash hour picks category for round 1, and then that'll wrap up round 1 overall. So let's get started. We're going to look into the first matchup of random slash hour pick, which was Beauty and the Beast versus Suffs. And Suffs was a newer show, and so Beauty and the Beast is obviously going to win because it's a namesake show, and more people know about it. Suffs was a musical about the women's rights movement a while back, and it was a really good show. However, not as many people know about it as they do of Beauty and the Beast. And honestly, I would have chosen Beauty and the Beast over Suffs because I was in Beauty and the Beast. But and it was such a fun show. I loved it, and so I'm not disappointed with these results. So we're gonna move into the first song, which is Me from Beauty and the Beast. Hello and welcome back. That was Me from Beauty and the Beast, and that is one of my favorite songs. It's a very funny song. But we're gonna move on to our next matchup, which was Rent versus Sunset Boulevard. And Rent is a very much older show, written by Jonathan Larson, and then Sunset Boulevard is a older show, but it's also a revival that is currently on Broadway. A super cool revival. However, Rent did win with 74.7% against 25.3%. And Rent is a very good show. It's a very serious show and very for mature audience, kind of. But it is a very good show. It's written by Jonathan Larson, who also wrote Tick Tick Boom. And there's a new show on Broadway currently, the Jonathan Larson Project, which I really want to see. So that's going to be good. But since Rent did win, here is Seasons of Love from Rent, the original Broadway musical. Hello, hello, and welcome back. That was Seasons of Love, performed by the original broadcast of Rent, and we're going to move on to our next matchup, which was Come From Away and Bye Bye Birdie. And this was a very close call with Bye Bye Birdie unfortunately winning with 52% against 48%. I have seen Come From Away two times. I've been in Bye Bye Birdie, so I am very well versed in both of those shows. However, I do like Come From Away more because it is a more heartfelt show about the events that took place on 9/11 in Gander, Newfoundland, a small town. Welcome back, and that was the telephone hour from Bye Bye Birdie. We are going to move on to our next matchup, which is we all along just finished the revival, which had Jonathan Goff, Daniel Radcliffe, and Lindsay something. I don't know the last name. But it was a very which is on tour. I actually know a couple people in the touring cast one of the guys who plays Elder Cunningham, and it's a very funny show. Definitely not for kids. It was written by the people who wrote South Park, I'm pretty sure, and so it is not very. However, it did end up winning against Merry Roll Along with 65.3% against 34.7%. Uh, and I'm not like surprised because Book of Mormon's a more known show, I would say. Uh, Merrily Roll Along's, I'm pretty sure it's Sondheim, so it's also a very classical piece of theater, especially with the newer revival. But Book of Mormon's still going strong on Broadway and on tour, so I'm not surprised it won. And so please enjoy You and Me, but mostly me, from Book of Mormon, the musical. And that was You and Me, but mostly me, performed by Josh Gad and Andrew Rannells. And fun fact, Josh Gad actually voiced Olaf in Frozen, which is completely different than Book of Mormon. But we're gonna move on to the next matchup, which is The Color Purple and Hell's Kitchen. Uh, Hell's Kitchen is a newer musical. I'm pretty sure it's written by Alicia Keys. It's a jukebox musical. And then Color Purple, I actually don't know much about The Color Purple except that Cynthia Erivo was in it, and Cynthia also played Elphaba in Wicked this past fall and upcoming in this part two. But I know Color Purple also got a movie adaptation recently, within a couple of years. And I haven't had time to see that yet, but I'm hoping to see it soon. But Color Purple did end up winning 77.3% against 22.7%, and I am okay with the results because the song I'm about to play with you is one of the most powerful songs that I've heard Cynthia sing, and I'm pretty sure she said on another talk show that it is harder to sing "I'm Here" than "Defying Gravity." And so, without further ado, please enjoy "I'm Here" from The Color Purple. Hello, hello, and welcome back. That was I'm Here from The Color Purple, performed by Cynthia Erivo. And we're going to move on to our next matchup, which is Mrs. Doubtfire the Musical versus the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which are both, Miss Doubtfire and Putnam County Spelling Bee are both comedic shows. I've seen both of them. I saw Putnam County Spelling Bee at a local theater, and I saw Mrs. Doubtfire in Chicago with Rob McClure and his wife Maggie, who played his wife on stage, which is super cool to see. Rob was great to talk to after the show. The show was also very similar to the movie. A lot of callbacks to the movie, a lot of details that if you saw the movie you would know in the show. During intermission, I also got to move up to row two, which was super cool because you could see all the quick changes that happened from Daniel to Mrs. Doubtfire, which was very talented to see how they do it on stage. And then Mrs. Doubtfire did win 61.3% to 38.7%. And I think it's also a namesake reason because a lot of people grew up with Mrs. Doubtfire the movie with Robin Williams. And Putnam County Spelling Bee, it's a good musical, however, not many people know about it. And it's not always, there are some parts in that show that aren't appropriate for younger audiences. But I'm not disappointed that Mrs. Doubtfire did win. It's a great show, and the song I'm about to play for you guys is called "I'm Here," and it is a sadder song in the show. When Daniel is singing about how he wants to stay with his kids and doesn't want to lose custody. But here's "I Want to Be There" from Mrs. Doubtfire the musical. Hello and welcome back. That was I Want to Be There from Mrs. Doubtfire the musical, and the way Rob performs that on stage and just in the soundtrack is very emotional. He does a very great job about showing the emotion that's put into that court scene. We are going to move into our final matchup, which is Aladdin versus Catch Me If You Can. I haven't seen Catch Me If You Can, but I've seen Aladdin, and it is a great musical based on the Disney movie, and it did win with 74.7% against 25.3%. And I think the main reason behind that is because it is a namesake. People grew up with Aladdin the movie on Disney, and they loved it. They know it. Catch Me If You Can, it's a good movie. However, it's not as well known as Aladdin. And Aladdin is still running on Broadway currently. I think it just hit the 20-year mark. It hit a milestone, 10, 20, one of those years, one of the year marks, because they had a big celebration for it, which I think is super cool. I love when Broadway shows can run that long. But I'm not disappointed with these results as I am with some of these other ones. However, I don't know if Aladdin's going to make it far into this competition because there are some other great matchups. But we're going to move on and with the song, and please enjoy Proud of Your Boy from Aladdin the Musical. Hello and welcome back. That was our final song for today, which was Proud of Your Boy from Aladdin the Musical. I'm going to give you a sneak peek into what you can expect for the next random slash our pick matchups. I'm not going to give you all of them. I'm going to give you a couple, and then you can just come back later and see what happens. But we're going to have Beauty and the Beast versus Rent. And honestly, I don't think Beauty and the Beast is going to make it past Rent because Rent is a more classic musical, and it's a more well-known to Broadway and theater fans, and then we'll have Bye Bye Birdie and Book of Mormon. That's gonna be a pretty close call, in my opinion, because they're both very good shows. And that's what I'm going to give you guys for today, and we're gonna wrap up. See you guys next Monday for the Broadway Battle. I'm Timothy, and I'll see you next time.